What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Steph and Tells pod. Sorry we haven't uploaded in the last couple of days. We've been super busy doing a whole bunch of different things. But here we are. It is Saturday. First time we've recorded one during the weekend. So we just want to jump straight into it by immediately talking about trading this week. I personally am down quite a bit this week. Price action was just overall very bad. We had a lot of things happen, whether that be Trump saying something or just a lot of other shit going on, outside factors that are completely out of our control that were really affecting us this week. I know a lot of people got literally screwed over by them by being in trades when some of these huge moves happened completely out of nowhere. Literally nobody saw them coming. I don't know if you want to talk a little more about that stuff real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't a good week. By the way, like and subscribe, please. That would be fun. Leave a comment. We read a bunch of comments every video. Please do that. Yeah, this week was pretty shitty. I am still up on the week though, which I am pretty happy about. But a lot of people, especially in the Discord, Habibi, Mark, both down pretty heavy on the week. It just has not been ideal to say the least. But I think you should talk about how Tells has had a newly found strategy he's been backtesting and working on with the man Habibi himself. If you want to just dive into your goals and
so I've been spending a lot of one-on-one time with Habibi, really kind of spending a lot of time backtesting. I was on with him for a while last night, and I have been just the last couple of days. He was up until 6 in the morning. He texted me this morning at 6 a.m. and he said, finally finished up going to bed now. I'm like, bro, I don't know. He's nocturnal, bro. He's actually different, but
he's weird.
I was up last night with him, just backtesting some strat with him. It's a really, something I've never seen before, but it was working, very well when I backtested it, even though this week it literally felt like as soon as I started using it, it got fucking patched. But even Habibi said this week in his 4 years of trading, he's never seen something like this happen so much in a whole week, so I'm really not too worried about it. My plan is, though, now, because what I'm doing now is having multiple TPs, and on the 50K account, I'm literally only going with 2 micros per trade, which is very small, and it's just taking a while to kind of build up. So what I'm thinking of doing with him is buying a bigger account, and then we, are going to kind of go into it together, taking the same trades as well, because we've literally been just working like basically how our back testing sessions go is he'll DM me or we'll come up with something. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to test it this way. You test it this way. We'll do it. Like, we'll go our separate ways, do it for like an hour, back test 20 to 30 days worth of it. And then we'll come back and we'll compare the results of each one. And then we will say, okay, this seemed to work in this one. This seemed to work in this one. Let's take a piece. Let's take this part from this strat that we tested. Let's take this part from this strat that we tested that works. Let's scratch the other shit that kind of was fucking us over. And then let's do this, and now you do this. And then we kind of just rinse and repeat that process over and over again until we kind of come up with something that we like. So, it's kind of tedious, kind of time consuming, but it's very essential. And having a model that you're very confident in helps me a lot to be a lot more confident in the trades that I take. I'm, so 100% sure of my setup every time I see it, that, I don't even think about making or losing money when I enter the trade. I just see the setup and I just take it because I know that's what I've tested and I have confidence in the model. So backtesting a lot recently has helped my psychology a lot, I would say.
Yeah, you want to just tell people about how you've change your strat around and what you've experienced. Maybe some people could take some good insight from, jumping around strategies, finally finding something that you like.
I mean, yeah, dude, basically main thing I would say is for me personally, I like to have something very specific. The more specific it is, the better I like it, but not a lot of criteria to be met, if that makes sense. Pretty much how I've been trading is just kind of pure price action on the 5-minute. On the left-hand side of my screen, on the right-hand side of my screen, I have the 15-minute. We're just playing in that direction of the trend of the 15-minute on the right-hand side. No zones, no indicators or anything. It's just purely reading price action. And I like it a lot. I do hope going forward that it, has a better turnout than this week, but I think I'm really not worried about it because, even I was talking with Habibi, I'm like, damn, it was just really bad timing that even if I was like, I was going back this weekend just testing out my old strat, which was just the 5 minute zones and then taking my entries on the 1 and the 2 minute. And I was still, I still would have taken a lot of L's this week. There was literally 2 days where I would have been in a trade when there was like 100 point fucking candle in either direction, completely out of left field. So I think that spending a lot of time just making sure the more confident you are in your model, like basically I think the best thing is to be so confident in your model that, like I said earlier, when you see your setup, you just enter, and it's just like Habibi always says it, you feel like you're trading like a robot. You just see that setup, you enter it, you're not even you set your stop loss, set your take profits, and you're not even worried about the money that you're going to make or you lose. You're just, it's just what you tested over and over again, and it's just like business. Like, you basically pull up to the charts, your model, you know what you're looking for. If you see it, you enter. If you don't, you don't. And that's kind of what he's really been pushing on me recently too, as I've been spending so much one-on-one time with him in the last couple of days especially. So I think that's a very important thing that I've learned this week. But
yeah, I did pretty good, so I'm not too upset. Just price actions suck lately. Trump has fucked everything as of recent. Kind of upset with it, but hopefully, as he gets more into office, all this stuff will go away. Just really unfortunate that he does this right when I trade every single day, and it's unsettling to say the least. Every time I'm in a trade, I was up almost 60 points yesterday in a trade. Was battling it out on longs, and that boy sold me once again. Came out, said that he's introducing more tariffs after on Tuesday he says he's giving out tariffs to Mexico. The next day he takes them away from Mexico. Then today he is now doing more tariffs. So market just moves pretty much 200 points in 30 seconds every time he says something about tariffs, and he can't seem to stop talking about tariffs. So I would just really like that if Trump, if you're watching this, please stop. Wait till 10:30 at least till I'm done, and then you can talk all you want. But definitely, at least I'm up, man. That's all I'm saying. At least I'm up. I don't really care. But February, this year itself really hasn't been off to the most banging start ever. But I'm confident once price action gets back to normal, and anybody that's new to trading, starting out with all this bullshit, it's gonna help you out a lot when things get a little bit easier, and then that time will come, and then we'll make a bunch of money. But for now, just about staying afloat, and being up $6,000 in the week is pretty afloat to me. So just gonna continue to do that. Definitely want to work around some things in my strategy, just adapting to this horrible PA. But I gotta start backtesting with the BB, I guess, maybe. And yeah, what are your goals with your funded accounts once you start really going off? What are your goals?
I mean, I want to reinvest it obviously back into more accounts, obviously, to just try to scale up. Because what Habibi did, I know I keep bringing him up, but he was telling me, like, or just anyone I've really talked to, it's like scaling and trading is like really easy, because once you have that kind of foundation set for yourself, you kind of just reinvest, and then you just kind of up your position size, build up your accounts. I mean, how it is. So yeah, I'm wanting to get onto bigger accounts just to give myself some more breathing room and, like, I guess, size to play with, because right now on the 50K accounts, it's just not really completely ideal, I would say. So that's what I'm trying to do, because I want to try to get onto minis and just have a lot more room for myself. And trading's bit, yeah, like even Steph said, this month, like I barely ended up on the month in January, and now it's the first week of February, and I'm down. So yeah, I haven't really been off to the hottest start in the world, gonna be completely honest. But we have any comments on the last?
Yeah, I'm gonna look
video?
right now. Yeah, I mean, if anybody had a bad January or bad start to the year, it does not matter. You guys know every week I post some shit on my TikTok about how much I'm up this week or how much I make this week, and people love to just talk shit constantly, bro. It's like it's the first month of the year. Like, you guys have to understand that you're, even if you're trying to have a good year, you're not just gonna start off with a $1 billion. This is a very drawn out process, and I've now 11 more months of this to keep going. So people that like shit on me week to week, it's just like, bro, like, oh my god, does this guy ever win? All this shit. It's just like, bro, you're poor, whatever. Yeah, I'm just got a question. I've been trading for about 3 months. In January, I've been back testing up to 5 hours a day every day. This is from Sean6762, by the way, or even more. I'm wondering if I should limit myself on the amount of hours back testing my strategies. I go far back to the first month of 2024 to now, but I don't know. I always preach and hear people say success is going to show off of the work you put in. He's basically asking, should he chill out on backtesting or should he just backtest as much as possible?
I mean, 5 hours. I think there's like a good like middle ground. I think 5 hours every day is a lot. Maybe if you had a 5 hour day, like, once or twice a week, I don't think that would hurt you at all. But I think 5 hours every single day, that's a long time. Like, that is a really long time to be looking. And that means that you're trading as well. So let's just say you have a 2 hour to 2 hour trading session plus 5 hours of back testing. That's up to like 6-7 hours a day of looking at the charts, which I think is just going to fucking fry your brain in the end. That's basically like, it's just a lot. That's the majority of your day. I mean, I'm only up for like 12, probably like, 14, 15 hours of the day. That's literally half of your day just staring at the at candlesticks. And I guess it's not necessarily a terrible thing, but I think that in the long run, it will hurt you more than, I would say just scale it back. It's totally fine to go on those, in my opinion, totally fine to have days where, you do that for that long. But I would say on a daily basis, honestly, and I feel like on a daily basis, an hour is all you need. That's really what I've been doing, and I've been liking it a lot. Literally, just an hour a day. Seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, seeing if there's areas that I can improve on, seeing if I should get rid of a TP or if I should add TP, seeing if different sizing works, seeing if like the way that I trim works. Kind of just experimenting to build the most confidence in my model. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, 5 hours is a little crazy, but I mean, obviously, the more work you put in, the more you're going to see out. That is correct, but you don't want to get too drained on that, something like that. I don't think you need to spend 5 hours a day back testing. It would be just more, maybe 5 hours a day just like building stuff out. You don't need to spend it always back testing, because that's really just not healthy. But again, appreciate the comment. Anybody that wants to leave a comment, please go ahead and do so. This is from Ethan Mormando. Bro, my gym teacher is 35 with 2 kids. This motherfucker is doing splits on the ground when he plays me in pickleball. He completely shits on me every single time. I kid you not, I 2v1'd him and he still beat me and my partner.
Are we really getting back? We're really getting back into the pickleball conversation. All right. Well, I mean, the short that I make. So I've been clipping up. I don't know if you guys have started to see the clips that I've been making of the podcast. I've only put out a couple, but I got y'all too. I put that Minecraft gameplay down at the bottom for your brain to be microwaved while you watch it. But that pickleball, it's crazy because our whole podcast is centered around like kind of like entrepreneurship, like trading, kind of making money, like all this stuff. And I post a video about me talking about how we got squashed in pickleball and I got like 15,000 views on YouTube Shorts. It's just funny. I mean, it was a funny, little bit that I put together, but it's just like, man, yeah, going back to the pickleball conversation, bro. Steph and I we went outside. We played outside, not at the place we usually play. The place we usually play is indoors, but we went outside the other day and played on like just this outdoor court. And bro, it got fucking mad competitive. Like, bro, my shoe came off mid rally. I stood up, bro. Like it was insane. So we be getting really competitive with that shit. And yeah, I hate losing in anything, but especially in pickleball, it just feels like more insult to injury because the people that I'm playing against, I look at them and I feel like there's no way they can beat me in any sport ever in the world, and I just get absolutely, completely humbled every time. So, yeah, felt that on a personal level.
This is from Big Funny 3463, and you can speak on this because I don't really have a lot of experience with this. He said, "Yo guys, what do you guys think about locking in?" And I'm just gonna get to the second part because I don't really know the rest. And also, you're not monetized yet, so I'm going to ask this. What do you think? I know, I saw that and I kind of freaked out. It's not that bad. What do you think about quitting smoking weed to lock in?
Oh, okay. This is actually a big one. I actually would really like to. I could get very into this. So, I think this is why I'm pretty sure the podcast got taken down on Spotify because I wasn't. Little side note, because I wasn't marking the episodes as explicit. Like, you know, when you play a song, how it has the little E
Oh
icon,
yes.
and I like, obviously we curse and like talk about like kind of, I guess, more mature shit on here. And I guess I wasn't marking any of the content as explicit, and I think a lot of it got flagged. So I'm gonna have to do that going forward. But getting into the whole smoking conversation, I think that this is, I know this is very controversial, but I think that yes, it is crucial to put it down. There's a time and a place. I'm not saying that you should just give it up forever. I'm just saying that if you're in a position where you don't like where you at, you know, like myself, I would even consider in my position right now, I feel like there's a lot of work I need to do. There's no time or place for anything like that. And, you know, I put it down, and maybe that's not to say that I personally have decided that I want to give it up forever, just because now when I smoke, I just get very like paranoid and I don't like the way it makes me feel anymore. But back when I was younger, I used to be a really big stoner. I used to literally be high all the time in school. I would go in the bathroom hitting my cart. Sorry, I know my parents listen to this. They even know I used to smoke all the time I would literally open my window, like sit outside on my balcony, like in my bedroom, and just like smoke every night. Like, and it was just, you know, it's not a good habit to get into. And you know, I don't shame anyone for smoking. I do think that it can be excessive, and I think that for a lot of people, especially around our age, it is excessive, but they fail to recognize it because it's always the same excuse of, oh, weed is not addictive, and or like the one that I hate the most. And I used to say all of these things too. People would tell me I smoke too much. I would say it makes me more productive or it makes me more creative. Like, bro, you know, that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. If you're saying that, you're just fucking lying to yourself, and you know it. Like, I used to, like, I'm not, you know, I used to say the exact same thing, and I'm glad that I've changed. Oh, I'm not addicted to it. But it's like, you are addicted to it because if you don't smoke, you can't eat or sleep, and that by definition is an addiction. If you rely on a substance or something to function, to eat or to sleep, that literally by definition is an addiction. So yes, you are addicted to it. It is addictive. I hate when people say that it's not, because it absolutely is. And I think that it's very like, a lot of people don't realize how big of a kind of chokehold it can have over you, just because you're so blinded by this kind of, I guess, MO that it's just, oh, whatever, it's just weed, you know, you're just gonna get high. But like, it really is, you know, it's a snowball effect. Like, you can start small and then it just gets bigger, and it just will take a toll over your life. Like, I remember when I stopped smoking and I wanted to completely give it up. Um, it was really hard at first. Like, I couldn't eat. I had a hard time eating. I had a hard time sleeping. I had a hard time doing a lot of things. And it was really hard for a while. But once I fully broke through, it's like I felt the best that I ever had. I felt like my mind was the sharpest it had ever been. I was making, you know, I was feeling good just about my body in general, like everything. It's just, I don't know. I just hate that it's kind of become such a casual thing, when I think that it's a lot more than that. So, in my opinion, long story short, bottom line is yes, I do think that you should give it up. If you know, you achieve all your goals and kind of do everything you want, you know, obviously, if you want to go back to it, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that in moderation. I just think that if you are in a position right now where you want to quote unquote lock in, that yeah, you should give it up.
I think smoking weed is a poor people thing.
I mean, I partially, yeah, I
I
partially would
I
agree
think
with
I
you.
think it's poor people. I think it just associates. When I think of someone who smokes weed, I think of someone who's like broke and just sits on their ass all day. Someone who's lazy, someone who's not comfortable in the person that they are naturally. And not that drinking is the same exact thing, and it's not a competition between drinking being good and smoking being bad. I think they're both horrible. I think they both should be legal to a sense. I don't think that smoking weed should be technically illegal, but I think that if you smoke weed, it just automatically associates you with someone, again, who's like a pothead. You know, you sit around, you eat, you're lazy. And yes, there's some people that are rich and have a lot of money to smoke weed, but I don't think that justifies it. I think doing anything, outside of moderation can be really bad for you, just like drinking or anything. But if I ever did smoke weed or think about smoking weed, I feel like it just, again, puts me in a group with some people that I don't want to be around. Again, I think it's
Yeah.
anytime you do something a lot to get your sober mind kind of extinguished, I think that's just like, it just shows the person you are. You're scared, and the person you are, you're scared of, maybe things going on in your life, you know, and you can use that as an out to kind of get away from things, just like drinking. And I think that's
exactly how I felt when I used to smoke a lot. It was just kind of, instead of facing your problems, it's just kind of like a getaway.
It's like you can like get out,
and it's hard to overcome. So like anyone out there who's like kind of, you know, maybe you can't even really recognize yet that it's a struggle, or maybe you feel like you're struggling with it. Like, I know how hard it is, bro, but once you you know, really commit to it, and, you know, see that breakthrough to the other side, and, you know, fortify your sober mind the way that God intended you to be, you know, I think you'll feel greater than you ever have, and I've experienced it firsthand. So
yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with like smoking cigarettes too, you know, like people like, oh, like shit gets stressful, like I'm gonna step out and smoke a cigarette, or I'm gonna, like, you know, just to like ease my mind or something. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, everybody stresses out, everybody goes through shit. Like, it's like kind of like what Tells just said, you know, you could really either face your problems right face to face, or you can step outside and go smoke a blunt or smoke a cigarette.
You can just put on your fucking training wheels and fucking, you know.
Like, I stress out every fucking day, all the time, 24/7, bro. I'm gonna be bald by fucking 19, and it's just one of those things where you can either, again, elevate yourself, beat your problems, beat the stuff that stresses you out, or you can go goon, go smoke a blunt, go smoke a cigarette, all these things, and just get the easy out. And then, you know, after 30 minutes or after you get high, everything will feel a lot better, bro. But guess what? Those problems do not go away. And then you just stay in the exact position you were the day before that, the day before that, the day before that, instead of elevating yourself. And it's just one of those things that are, if you want to be rich, you got to kind of act like it. And that doesn't mean you got to buy the cars and shit, but you got to, again, keep good hygiene, keep good morals, keep good values, go to church, all these things, you know, develop a good, sober mindset, you know, instead of, you know, trying to hide away from all the weed stuff. But I personally have never been high. I personally never smoked.
You're a sober Sally, huh?
Yeah, I mean, in the weed sector, yes. I just never really had a desire to smoke weed.
And I even used to do like psychedelic shit and stuff. Like I used to like, there used to be a time in my life where I was like, yeah, dude, I want to try every fucking drug out there. Like, nothing like crazy. Like, there was a time where I wanted to, you know, just like try stuff. And now it's just like, why did I even think that, bro? Because like the sober mind, like once you get to this point in your life where you feel so good being sober, and I know this is the way that God made me intended to feel like, to see, like, when I used to do like shrooms and stuff, it just it just alters your mind into a way that you're not meant to be thinking. And it's just that's my take on it, from someone who was on that side of the spectrum and is now on the complete opposite side, where I've given up everything. I used to be I have a really bad Nick addiction, Zins, vapes, all that shit, and now I've, you know, been off that shit for a long time as well now, and everything. It's just, this is the sober Sally life is the way. So
yeah, real quick, I recently launched a lifetime mentorship in my Discord. Me and Habibi are doing one-on-ones. It just got full completely, so there's no more spots. And now I promised that I was going to shout them out. So quickly, Colton, Isaac, Mama, Craig, Jackson, Anthony, Dacker, I love you. We even got Fungalagungus in there, bro.
Senor Fungalagungus.
The GOAT, man. Yeah. I think it's George G Money, Mason, Dalton, Sledge, Caden, Tyler, Sean, Brett, Wajid, Zeski, Ethan, Briney, Eric, Lucky, Richie, Miss Manja Business, and Lightning Q. I see Lightning Q commented on one of the podcast videos. I appreciate you guys. Again, this is something I had to keep a very small circle for, because it's just going to take a lot of time. We're doing one-on-one mentorships with them. Obviously, you guys are taking a big jump. Congratulations for that. I promise I'm going to do everything. This is not no mastermind bullshit. You guys are going to spend a lot of time with me, basically be one of the more, I don't even talk to my mom once a week. I'm going to be talking to y'all even more than that. Like, I'm just really appreciative, and obviously you guys are going to be a lot more interactive with me, so congratulations on that. Just wanted to shout you guys out. This is a big step, and I'm so excited to see over the next months how you progress, and I'm really excited for this. Someone said, are y'all planning on doing any collaborations with any other influencers?
I mean, yeah, down the line, definitely. It would be really cool to meet a lot of people. I love talking and meeting new people, especially just because it opens up your mind so much. It's like, I've traveled to a lot of different places, you know, even inside the United States, and now I've been to different countries and stuff. And, you know, my grandparents live in Spain. Like, we go there, every couple of well, we've been going there like once a year for the last couple of years, but just it expands your mind, like just hearing what other people have to say, hearing other people's firsthand experiences, just really that talking to other people, reading and writing are just ultimately what expands your mind and gives you more of an open minded look on the world. So I would love to absolutely talk to as many people on here as possible, and I think it would be really great for you guys to hear the conversations as well. So it's something we definitely want to look into.
This question is from Brett, actually, I believe. He said, just wanted to say 5 days ago, just want to say everyone that just wanted to say to everyone that is in the Discord is so supportive. And Steph, Tells, and Habibi all really helped me out on Wednesday's Q&A by telling me to get my shit together and get my emotions in check. And I don't know, but hearing that really motivated me, and I traded great the rest of the week. So every day, or not every day, every Wednesday in the Discord at night, we do a Q&A where I bring people up on the stage and they can talk to us, ask us questions, whatever. And Brett came up and he was over trading. He was doing a bunch of bullshit, the common retail trader activities. And I basically told him, I was just like, dude, you need to get your shit together. And, I'm one of those guys that is not going to like hold your hand when I can mentor you, but I'm just going to kind of tell you how it is. And if you're acting like an idiot, I'm going to call you an idiot. And if you're doing stupid shit, I'm going to tell you you're doing stupid shit. And what would happen if you weren't doing all that stupid shit? You would be doing great. And this is now a week later, and we can't say this, but Brett, I believe, had one of his better weeks recently. I think he was up over $1,500 on the week after we told it. We talked about this. He even came up yesterday when we had the Q&A and just talked about how much that really motivated him. But everybody learns different, and sometimes you just kind of got to talk some shit to help lock people in. But anybody going through those situations, just make sure you have someone that can kind of hold you accountable and yell at you sometimes, man, because this is another thing, one of the rare times in life where you're kind of being the head of operations at all times. When you're in your trading journey, everyone, doesn't really know exactly what's going on like you do. So sometimes, if you're especially new to this stuff, you need to make sure you have someone who can yell at you, like me sometimes. And, you think you do better. I think Tells should answer this one. I don't know if we did this last podcast, but we could kind of do it again because you kind of changed your strategy. But what was the biggest part of the psychology for you guys to overcome in trading? Also, what's your guys' opinion on adding two positions?
What is two positions, like
adding
multiple
two positions, like adding more contracts to a position, or like
averaging down or something like that?
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing with overcoming psychology and trading just
I mean, it's just kind of going back to what I said earlier. Like, you need to be you need to be literally disconnected from the money and just almost like, I mean, I know it's so cliche to say, but like literally like mechanic. You need to be like so mechanical. You need to just know exactly what your setup is, and when you see it, you just execute. You set your stop loss, set your TP, it runs, you get stopped out, whatever, you hit take profit, whatever, and you just repeat that process over and over again. You get that confidence from one, live trading your model, and also back testing it, maybe even live front testing or forward testing your model as well. It just all comes down to the confidence. Like, if you are even you should never be, in my opinion, what I've kind of noticed is the best one that I've ever traded is when I'm not hesitant, whatever, when I enter or sell. Like, I never like hover over the button and I'm like kind of like, do I really want to get in longs right here, or do I really want to get in shorts right here? It's like, nope, that's my model, that's my setup right there. Okay, shorts or longs, boom, I'm in. So, I think if you find yourself hovering over that entry button and there's even a tiny bit of doubt in your mind, like, oh, kind of, I don't really know if I should enter this, that means that you're not confident enough in your model, in my opinion.
This is a good question for you, Tels, as well. Someone said 11 days ago, Mr. Sebastian, hopefully you're watching this. Thanks for this. This is on the first episode. Sometimes it's good to hear this. As a profitable trader, sometimes it's hard to not log onto social media and get quote unquote influenced by these gurus. So appreciate it when you follow someone who speaks the truth. For me, trading in my career, this guy is again, not that you aren't, but he is telling him like he is a profitable trader. For me, trading in my career has given me the ability and freedom to drop off and pick up my 3 kids from school every day, and that's more important than any Lambo. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I personally can't relate because I don't have children to pick up from school, but I'm sure it's an amazing feeling. It's like, your fulfillment comes from things that actually matter. You know, money can't buy that happiness that you get from, you know, seeing your kids or, you know, I think the biggest thing for me is like one day I want to be able to provide for my wife and, you know, my children, which I do, you know, want to have one day. So that's kind of you know, I do want the cars. I do want the fucking BMW M4 competition with red bucket seats, but I can't take, you know, none of that stuff will come with me when I'm gone. So it's like you know, focusing on the stuff that is really, you know, the most important. Like I'd take, you know, if I lost everything and then was able to still, you know, have my 2 legs and just play pickleball. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's important to look past the materialistic things. I've said this a million times before. I think it's good to have materialistic goals and tangible things that kind of reflect your work and success, I guess. But obviously, you know, anybody I've ever really heard talk about that has a really nice car, they're like, it's fun for like a couple weeks and then it kind of is just like a car. But, you know, your kids I'm sure picking up your kids from school isn't just like fun for like a couple weeks and then you're just like, you know, oh, you just gotta go pick. I mean, I don't know, maybe it is. Like I said, I can't speak on it. I don't have children.
Some people don't want materialistic things; they just want the freedom, and that's another thing that's
good. It's important.
It can bring. I would say that's a lot better than having a fucking cool car, to be honest. But congratulations to you, brother. That's very sick to hear. Really, I love having some diversity.
It's like I've seen videos on TikTok of people, and it's like me in the parking lot sitting in my G80 like M4, like, but I look over and see a guy eating like ice cream with his girlfriend. Like,
yeah, it's like everybody has their issues or, you know, good things. You know, some people might have a bunch of money and a crazy car, but, you know, people say money doesn't buy you happiness. I think that's a lie, but I do understand the concept of that. You know, some people might have a cool car, but then they won't have, you know, parents or a girlfriend or kids, you know, or they got some issues with their body. Like, you know, there's no perfect person out there. Everybody's got their issues, and even on social media, when everything's perfect, I promise you guys, it's not. You know, so don't get misled by that. Everybody has things, and even you have things that people would want, and you know, not that matters, but you know, I think people get caught up online with psychology and just seeing everybody do so well all the time. You know, it's not how well it looks on social media, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, on social media, people get to pick and choose what you see, right? They can paint an exact picture of how they want to be portrayed as, and they're never going to show you. I mean, 90% of people will never show you when they're, you know, super down bad or kind of the struggles. So it's like, just remember that it's like, this is real life. These people are just people too. They have the same exact like shit and stressors going on in their life that you do in yours, and everyone does. So, you know, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, everybody thinks you're crazy till you're not, and then everybody thinks you're doing well till you're not. You know, it's one of those things where things might be going super well. You know, you start spending a lot, you start making a lot of money, so you spend a lot. You know, rich person with poor habits, and then, you know, things go bad, and then you're kind of cooked. You know, and so it's one of those things you always got to be. I wouldn't say optimistic, but, you know, look forward, always plan for the future. You know, don't buy stupid shit until you literally, what did that one guy say in the car, man? If you want a Lambo, you know, if you want to just buy something really nice, you know, you should have burn the money in the middle of the
he was like, if that money literally just disappeared, would it matter to you?
If you could take it all and put it in the middle of your living room and set it on fire and have it disappear, would it affect you? And most of the time, probably, you know, like that's like cars, house, all this stuff.
I think it's also like with social media. I mean, even the algorithms are made to only show you stuff to kind of keep you stuck. And this is why I think that creating content is very important, because if you're just on social media purely to just consume, like, you're just fucking rotting your brain. And that's why I think getting into creation is very important. And I've kind of talked about it so much that I think how important it is. I personally made videos that I post where I talk about things that I've learned firsthand from doing all of these things, being friends with multiple millionaires at a young age, talking to like a lot of different people, having a lot of different experiences, you know, talking about all that stuff, which I consider very valuable information. once again, that I've experienced firsthand will only get a couple hundred views, but I post a fucking video of me like jokingly being like, you guys ever see a girl so bad that you look at yourself in the mirror and wonder what you're doing with your life, you need to lock in? That shit gets fucking 3 million views. So it's like these platforms are made to keep you like shackled down and kind of limit you, because they are they're addictive, and they're meant to just rot your brain and keep you in this place. And I think that creating content is extremely important, because it's like the opposite side of that spectrum, where you have pretty much everything to gain and nothing to lose. But by just purely consuming content, you're just frying your brain. Maybe if you're watching our podcast and you're like, hey, I want to start my own podcast, fucking go for it, bro. Yeah, do it.
Dance.
Post some clips on YouTube Shorts. Make sure to put that your fucking Minecraft parkour gameplay on the bottom. Throw a caption on there. Boom, you're in. And now you can help other people fry their brains. So, but
yeah, I mean, there's two edges to the coin though, man. Because I've also had people, exceed stuff I do online, or stuff I do, and who I'm talking about, and they'll, kind of see the results, see how things are going, when they aren't doing anything, and then they'll get the idea of, oh, I want to do this myself, and then they go and do it themselves, and it fucking sucks. And they would, leave a lot of opportunity on the table where they could have just stayed where they were at. So I don't think you should have this super optimistic goal with it, and that's why I like what I do a lot, just documenting my life. It's not really how I do, or like how I have the best strategy ever, how much money I make. I don't really care. And I've seen, and kind of back in what he just said, like videos that I post, like my losses and shit, just talk about how I lose, like they just don't do as well, ironically. And it's, nothing I can change about it, because it's just, I lost. But definitely, social media likes to push out a positive mindset on things, or, seeing people do successful. But I don't think, if you want to become, a creator right away, and you see people making videos and stuff, that you could just go and do it, which you can, but just understand it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that you might not think. And once you get to the point where, maybe in my position, I'm one of the most consistent like trading creators online. Like I've been posting for so many years now, and consistently, I don't blow up a lot. Like I'll have a couple videos every once in a while, I'll get 2, 3, 4, 500K, but like consistency for me has always been the biggest thing. And especially in the trading space, after you have like losing days, or you kind of go on a bad streak, it's really hard to just like turn on the camera and record every single day and keep making videos. And like that's stuff that you struggle with too,
like consistency was like the amount. I think I'm not even joking with you guys, I've literally created a fucking new TikTok account every like fucking months. 5 fucking times, because I would post on it, I would do pretty good, and then I would just like give up on it and get discouraged, because I would just be like, oh, like I just don't want to do it anymore. And it annoys me. I'm mad at myself. I literally talked about this on my new TikTok, like, which is doing very well, because I've been posting extremely consistent on it, and it's because I've had Steph to hold me accountable, which is that's another topic. But it's like the consistency is just absolutely everything. Like I think about how much I would have by now if on the very first account that I made, I would have just kept posting on it consistently every day until now, instead of like doing it for 2 months and then restarting, and then maybe doing it for 3 months and then restarting, and then doing it for like 3 months again and then restarting, just because I just gave up. I think the fucking plunging thing has actually helped me a lot with that, just because it's like become such a routine habit, and I kind of have gotten into this just very like routine flow of my daily day-to-day life, where I just know the things that I have to do. It's just like, you got to stick to the plan, not how you feel, because there's so many days, especially like losing days, where I'm like, I don't want to make a fucking video and talk about how much money I lost. Like it just sucks, and I know that I'm going to post it and people are going to fucking grill the fuck out of me, and it's just going to piss me the fuck off. But I still do it, because that's the plan, because I know that if I do this every single day for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like Steph has, look at where he is now, that it will pay off. Like it's guaranteed. You can't lose at something if you never give up on it. If you really think about it, you literally cannot lose at something if you never stop doing it, which is just something the mentality I've kind of really forced myself to understand, especially as of recently. So, and I'm doing well. I've been very consistent this year, and it's like I feel like I've made more progress in the first what are we, a little over, just over 5 weeks into the year. I feel like I've made so much more progress just in these last couple of weeks since this year started than like the last, couple of months, just because I've had this plan day in and day out that I've kind of stuck to, really, no matter how I felt, with the exception of the day that we played Rust for like 12 hours straight. But
okay, well, we gotta have a day off every once in a while. But
yeah.
There's just it doesn't make sense. But when you actually like look at other things and like, it's just crazy to see the perception that some people have on things. Social media, or what is Bella doing right now? It's Bella. What the fuck are you doing?
She thinks she's a producer.
Yeah, she's
Get up
idiot.
Here.
But what happens is, in golf, in football, and look at any professional aspect at all, you have to stay consistent doing it or you get bad at it. Who would have thought that it's the same thing with social media or trading or anything else? It's just like people think about these things and it's normal in sports or in anything. But in social media, people just like, oh, what, man? Like, it takes a lot of work. If you want to be good at anything in any sector of the world, it's consistency. It comes down to being able to do it every single day in and day out, and perform just like you would at anything else. And when people hear that about social media, they're like, what, bro? No way. It's the same as every single other thing. And there's just a giant misconception with it, man. And everybody thinks it's easy, but it's easy till you got shit going. And then to keep it going consistently, it can put a lot of stress on you when you have a video that blows up and then you think you're going to do really good and then it doesn't blow up. Then your next video and like your next couple of videos just fall off. There's so much mental stuff with it. Just like everything else, it takes a lot of time. It's very stressful. It's easy, to have kind of a plan, but then when shit goes against the fan, it gets a little crazy. But I think that's a good topic to end the pod on. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even this, like we didn't, like it's the weekend. We usually don't record episodes on the weekend. We haven't. I've been like, yo, I'm like, Steph, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really feel like doing the podcast. Steph's like, I don't even really feel like doing the podcast either. But I'm like, bro, we have to do it. It's just like what we've committed to doing, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many people will. It's even like I'm sure everyone out there has, you've had those nights in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, where you fucking like, oh, I'm gonna fucking change my life. You're doing push-ups in your fucking bedroom, and then that like that
12:30.
You wake up and that shit's gone. That's the difference that separates successful people from whatever your definition of success is, but quote unquote successful people from quote unquote non-successful people is just being able to do it. And it's not even about giving 100% every single day. As long as you just show up. I compare it to the gym a lot. When people have asked me for gym advice, it's like there have been days where I literally went to the gym and just did like 3 sets and like went home. I didn't feel good, but at least I could say that I showed up. Maybe I only gave 10% effort, but hey, at least I was fucking there. It's like, the same thing with our podcast, same thing with TikTok, same thing with everything. There's going to be days where I just don't feel like doing it. And, you can even tell in my content that I kind of didn't feel like showing up this day, but I still did. And that's, bottom line what matters. And obviously the goal is to put in 100% effort as much as you can. But I think as long as you're showing up every single day, that is what matters. And it's what's going to separate you from everybody else, because everyone else is going to say, oh, I want to start my own podcast. They're going to do it for a week and then they're never going to post again. Or like me, I'm going to be like, okay, I want to make a TikTok page. I'm going to post on it consistently for a month and then I'm just going to stop. That's what it comes down to, is just showing up no matter what. And it's hard. It really is. But, doing hard shit is what makes you great and separates you from everyone else. So yeah, I think that's a good spot to wrap up here.
If you guys haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. We would really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1K, and if you guys want to comment any questions, we will reply to them, answer them on the podcast, shout you out live. Please do that. Like the video, follow us on other platforms, all that other fun stuff. We really appreciate it. We hope you're doing well, and hopefully next week we can trade better, perform better. But anybody that had a bad week this week, just know that it was not your fault. There was so much manipulation.
Yeah, dude.
But thank you guys for watching this. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Please be safe. We will see you guys in the next video.
There was.